Hey bunnies, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I make curry chicken. Now there are about 3 or so different variations of how you can do this, but in general it's all the same. Okay, so let's get started with how you season the chicken. Now the first thing you're going to need, of course, is your chicken that should have been properly washed with vinegar or lime juice or dishwashing, however you decide to wash your chicken. If you watched my previous Glam Mom episode, you would have seen how I washed my chicken. If you want, I will have it in the description bar below on how I wash my chicken so that you can wash yours the same way or a variation of that as well. Okay, next thing you will need, fish and meat sauce. This is optional, not everybody uses this, but this is one of my favorite seasonings to use. Fish and meat sauce, the Grace brand. I don't know if any other brand makes it, but this one is by Grace. Next thing you're gonna need for powder seasoning, curry powder, of course, and then everything I'm showing you is pretty much eyeball. I don't measure how much seasoning I put into anything. You just have to know which seasoning goes best with what, and as in how salty different seasonings are. Do not put salt on your chicken because all these powdered seasonings have some salt in it. Okay, so you're pretty much just eyeballing the amount of chicken that you have in comparison to how much seasoning you think you're going to need. Okay, so now as I was saying, you're going to need curry powder first. You're going to need paprika, which is completely optional, but again, I do like to use paprika in all my food. You are going to need complete seasoning. The brand that I use is the Adobo. I don't know if that makes any difference to you, but you're going to need complete seasoning. You're going to need black pepper. You're going to need some pimento seeds, very important, pimento seeds. Now, for your ground seasoning, you're going to need scallion or green onions, as they're known in America, scallion. You're going to need onions. Again, it depends on, how much chicken you're doing and how much of the particular seasoning you want to add. Next thing you're going to need is thyme. These 3 that I just showed you last, the scallion, the onion, the thyme, these are the 3 most important ground seasonings. Scotch bonnet pepper, sweet pepper. I know some people put tomato in their curry chicken. Those are optional. The Scotch bonnet pepper is a plus, but it's completely optional because it does give it a little bit of a kick. The sweet pepper is also optional, or as you know it in America, bell peppers, completely optional. It does make the food taste a little bit better, but that's a personal choice. It is completely optional. I ran out of both peppers, so I'm not putting it in there today. I don't put tomato in my food. The only thing I put tomato in is saltfish. Okay? Alright, so let's get into seasoning the chicken. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to add is the curry powder. Sprinkle that all over the chicken. Yes, you can use your hands to rub it in, but the curry powder does stain and I don't want my nails to get yellow. Yes, you can use bleach to get the yellow stain off, but I'd prefer to not go through all of that hassle and just use a spoon to mix it up. Okay? Now, you do have the option of skipping the curry powder during this step and burning the burning the curry powder in oil and then adding the chicken to it, and it will automatically get the curry color. You can do it this way, add the curry powder and then still burn the curry powder afterwards and add the chicken to it to give it even more flavor. That will give it a different taste. But me, I personally prefer to season up everything, curry powder, all the seasoning all together, and then let it sit for at least 1 hour. The longer you leave it, the more the seasoning will get to soak into the chicken. If you're low on time, please let it sit for at least 30 minutes. If you don't have 30 minutes and then you're gonna just throw it in a pot, it will still taste good, but it tastes even better if you leave it to soak. Now, as you can see, my chicken pieces have been completely coated with the curry powder, with all the seasoning. So just going to leave it like this. You can cover it with the container's cover. You can cover it with saran wrap, foil paper, anything at all. Just cover it so that all the juices, well, I don't even know if it makes a difference, but I like to cover it, and a lot of people I know like to cover there after they've seasoned it, just so that everything stays in and soaks in. Okay? Okay, bunny, so now on to the cooking. You're going to need a Dutch pot, or what's another word for Dutch pot? A cast iron pot, shaped exactly like this, big or small, depending on how much food you're cooking. Now, these can be found at any Jamaican store, I believe, I think. Anyways, get your spoon with the slots, or you can use a pair of tongs, because at the bottom of this you do have the juices all settled in here, and you don't want to get the water or the juices in the oil because they're going to splash and all that stuff. So in your Dutch pot, which I have not mentioned, you're going to put your flame on high. You're going to add about 2 to 3 ounces of vegetable oil in the pot, and you're going to let that get hot. When it is hot, you're going to add your chicken very carefully. You don't want to just throw the container over, because like I said, the juices that are settled at the bottom, it will cause splatter. Try to avoid adding the seasoning in there as well. We're saving that for last. It doesn't really matter if it's in there, but I prefer to leave it for last. Okay? So if you can take them out, take them out. If not, honestly, it's not that big a deal. So take up the pieces when the oil is hot and add it to the pot. Ooh. Slowly. Okay, and then you're just going to let it cook for a little bit. See, about 5 minutes. You're going to watch the meat tighten up. Constantly stir it or mix it, whatever you want, whichever word you want to use. Constantly stir it so that the meat does not stick to the bottom of the pan. And while you're cooking, remember to always clean up these little messes as soon as they happen, okay? Clean up now, less clean up later. Now, if you don't have a Dutch pot, you can always use a really big frying pan. That's always good. You can even do this in a really big stock pot. But the Dutch pot is my preference because the way it distributes the heat, it makes it cook a whole lot better. Same thing for brown stew chicken, oxtail, curry goat, stewed beef, stewed pork, anything like that. Anything you're stewing pretty much does better in a Dutch pot. Even cabbage, if you're steaming cabbage, steams a whole lot better in a Dutch pot than in any other pot. But other pots can be used. I just prefer to use this here. Okay, we're going to switch this spoon for the spoon with no holes, a solid spoon. After the 5 minutes, after you see the chicken start to tighten up, you want to reduce your flame to a 4 or a medium, however your stove is set up. Add the rest of the seasoning and the rest of the juice, the sauce, whatever you want to call that, and you're going to add that to the pot. The same container with all the seasoning here, you're going to add some water to it and to wash it out, and also to add to the pot. You don't want to put too much water, and you don't want to put too little water. You want to put enough so that it doesn't burn at the bottom. You want to put enough so that it builds gravy, but you don't want to put too much where it's too overly watery. So this where it is right now, it's a little bit I put a while ago. That was perfect. If you want to add more, you can, but this right here is just fine. See, it's not covering all the chicken. It's like it's halfway. Put it like that. It's halfway of the chicken. After you've done that, get your pot cover. Cover your pot and let it cook for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, we're going to come back and look at our pot. After 30 minutes, this is your pot. Stir it up. Now, you at this point, at the 30-minute mark, is when you're going to add your potatoes and your carrots. Me, completely forgot to pick up carrots at the store this weekend, so all I'm going to be adding are potatoes, and you want to put them in gently. You don't want to just throw them in there because it will splash up on you and you will get burnt. So, get your hands in the pot. Don't touch the actual food because that will also burn you. Yes, so gently put the potatoes in there. Let them settle into the water, gravy, juice, mixture, curry thing we have going here so that they can cook. Your chicken is now halfway done. In another 30 minutes, everything will be done. The potatoes will be done. The chicken will be ready. And then you'll be ready to eat and serve your family. Okay? So let's go for another 30 minutes. That's my kid back there stealing snacks. Yeah. Alrighty. 30 minutes. Okay. And then after a complete hour, the extra 30 minutes, this is what your chicken should look like. As you can see, the gravy is a lot thicker because we put the potatoes in there. We haven't added any additional water. If you want to, you could add some more water to this. Let it sit for another 15-30 minutes. It's all up to you. It's a personal preference. Right now, I'm going to turn my stove off and place it for you so that you can see it. But if you wanted to leave it a little bit longer, let it cook down some more, you could do that. But right now, your chicken is done, and that's it. Curry chicken ready for, I'm gonna say like 5 people, 4 or 5 people. Yeah, even 6, about 6 people, depending on how big they eat. And that's it. Okay, bunnies, and there you have it, your gorgeous curry chicken on your plate. Depending on how much curry you use will determine how yellow your chicken comes out. Depending on whether you burn your curry or if you do like I did and just season it and throw it straight into the pot will determine as well how yellow your chicken will come out. I love doing it like this. My family loves when I do it like this. And that's about it. And then the good thing about curry chicken, you can eat it with white rice, rice and peas, boiled dumpling, fried dumpling, fritters, bread, roti, which is extremely popular, especially in Trinidad, crackers, fritters, anything you can think of. Curry chicken goes amazing with it. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped at least one person out there. Peace sign and kissy face. Bye. This one here, I need a new spoon. I need somebody to sponsor these videos and give me stuff, give me new utensils because these are horrible. Anyways, not the point of the video.